Yeah, I say that I don't remember any special dinners Thanksgiving and Christmas, but maybe it was because that every meal is such a big deal there, at home that it was just another meal to me. A lot of times there were other people there, company for Thanksgiving dinner or Christmas dinner, but I just kind of vaguely remember that back out on the farm there. Of course, we didn't have indoor plumbing. We had outdoor commode. Well, they didn't call them commodes. They call them a toilet, outdoor toilet. And a person don't give it too much thought about the outdoor toilet, but what you do, you build you a shed and then you put in there a seat to sit down on, and you dig a hole in the ground about 3 foot deep or so, and then you set that shed over that hole, and then when it fills up or gets kind of full, well, you dig another hole and you move the shed over to that hole, and then you take some of the dirt that you dug up and fill in over the top of that other hole and let it settle there, and that's what you did. I can remember doing that, talking about going out in the woods and chopping the wood and sawing down trees and stuff. We ended up carrying a lot of that wood in our arms from the woods and to the house, and then stack it up. But we didn't have a wagon or a sled or anything that we could load it on and then pull it to the house. But anyway, that's this part of that living out there. And then after Dad died, which he died in 1953, well, Mom started buying coal. We burned coal in a stove. It was a wood stove, but we started burning coal in there for heat. And so she bought coal. We had a shed out there we called a coal shed, and we put it out there. And we had to carry in buckets of coal, put it in the fire. We had to have some in there it always seemed like it was always going out by the next morning. And I imagine other ones of the family got up and did the same thing at some time in life there. But it seemed to me like I was the only one that had to get up and start the fire. But I'm sure that they had a hand in that too. But it seemed to me like I did all the work. Well, that's the way it'll seem to a kid anyway, that they're doing everything. Nobody else is doing anything. Yeah. Well, there's a lot of stories out there on the road or out there on the farm there. We had a big old garden down there, and I did help my mom, and I gardened a lot. It seemed to me like I was down there more than anybody else helping her. One day, a deer, we was down there doing something in the garden there, and a deer just ran right in kind of in between us there, right across there, just like we weren't there. It was a wild deer, of course. But there were several deer out there. Sometimes, some mornings we'd get up, look off down in the far field, and we'd see it was like a herd of deer, like 10 or 12 of them the other end there. But if you wanted to shoot one for meat, you'd have to sneak down there without disturbing them. But and that never did happen, because the time you snuck down there, they'd be gone. And we had a creek down there that we fished in a lot. Us kids did, and the fish wasn't very big, but we'd bring the fish to the house and clean them, and they're just barely big enough to cook. But it was, we liked to do that, like the fish there. One year there, when they used to sell what they call cherry bombs for 4th of July. and these cherry bombs were pretty strong. They was red and round and red, and what we'd do, sometimes, I mean, we wouldn't always do this, but I can remember doing this a couple of times there. We'd tape that cherry bomb to a rock, and we'd light it, and that fuse, I guess, was waterproof because we'd throw it in that water, and it would go down, it would go off down in there. Of course, it'd kill some of them fish, and they'd float to the top, and we'd get them, take them home. But that wasn't even legal to do that. But of course, as kids, we never even thought about anything like that. But anyway, we kept down there, and we had one field down there as a pasture for the horses and the cows, and sometimes we'd have to go down there and get them cows, and sometimes we'd ride a horse down there. This guy that stayed with us, Tommy Vangorder, he worked there on the farm and stayed. He slept there at the house, up there with us boys in the upstairs bedroom. We had a big old bedroom, almost like a barracks, I guess you'd say there. But anyway, he decided he's going to go with me. He was a tall, lanky guy, had real long legs and everything, and I didn't want him to go with me, but he insisted on going. Went down there and I caught that horse, that pony that we kept there for my dad's boss, and I took a bridle down there and put a bridle on him, and I hopped on him, and Tommy jumped up behind me, decided he'd go ride too, but heck, his legs just about touched the ground there, and I guess, I don't know how it happened there, but the horse started running, and I was slipping off of there, and he kind of just hopped off the back, when the horse started running, and I was already lost my balance there, and I kind of put my arms around his neck, and I swung down around in front of him. Of course, his legs hitting my legs, and knocked me loose there, and he run right over me. I think one of his hoofs clipped my head there, and that might be what's wrong with me today. Nah, I doubt that. But anyway, I was really mad at them for getting on that horse behind me there. But I gathered up the horse again and went ahead and got the cows in. And then sometimes there we had to go get that. Well, I had a dog. His name was Shep. He was a bit of a shepherd. He wasn't a border collie, but he was smaller than that. But he was white. He was white and had some brown on him there. But anyway, he's smart little dog there. Anyway, he would go with me all the time, go down there and get them cows. And mostly we'd go down there on foot and get them. And had to bring them back across the highway. We'd have to open the gate and let them through that gate and across the highway and then up to the barn so we can milk them at night. And this one night I remember, went down there and got them cows, got them up there to the gate, and they decided that they weren't going to the barn. They turned around and took off running. And boy, I was mad. I was mad as a hornet. I mean, I'd done spent a lot of time, effort going all the way down to the other end of the field, get them cows. And I was going to take it out on the dog, and I hollered at the dog. I said, "Shep, you go get them cows right now." And he took off running, and I just thought I'd scared him with my voice, being tough on him there. And he took off, and I was moping around there trying to decide what to do about it. And pretty soon, here he come chasing them cows like a German Shepherd or a Border Collie would do, rounded them cows up and brought them back up there. And I opened the gate and went across the gate. That surprised me, that he understood what the dilemma was there, and he took care of it. Yeah, that was a good dog there to me. Yep. We had several different dogs out there on the farm there. That was just one of them. I mean, not all at the same time or anything. We had one named Well, when we bought the farm, my dad bought the farm, there was a dog already there named Beauty. It was a collie, but she was pretty old there. And then we got a dog named Lead, Lead, and his brother, the dog's brother, a friend of ours, had him, and he happened to name his dog Lead, Lead. That was, I thought that was a strange thing. And sometimes he'd come over to the house to visit, and he'd bring that dog with him. And them dogs that horse around play, just like they was lost brothers, which, that's the kind of thing it was there. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know. I can think back, and I think a lot of this makes sense to me, but a lot of it maybe won't make sense to other people. But anyway. That was one of the incidences there that went on there, and I remember we had that bicycle. We had some other bicycles after we'd been out there a while, but most of them always had to be worked on. There's something missing on them or something like that. But we had this one that was pretty good shape, and me and Ted and probably Jack, I don't remember who all was involved in that. We decided to make us a ramp, like Evel Knievel type thing, but just not near as elaborate, just a small, like only 6 inches off the ground, And so said he's going to be the first one down through there and, go up that ramp, kind of, we envisioned the bicycle going, in the air there a little bit and then coming down. Well, when evidently he missed the board, and the wheel hit that rock where the end of the board was, and it flipped him through the air, flipped the bicycle up and over, tail end first there, and he came down on the rock, on his head on the rock, and knocked him out. He was out, I don't know, probably for 30 seconds or something like that, but he was out, you know that he was knocked out, but he wasn't. We was kind of rough and tumble, and things like that didn't seem to hurt us for very long. We get up and get at it again. Yeah. We did a lot of horse playing up around that barn. We had, up in the upper loft of it, we'd stack hay there for the, to feed the cows and horses. But we'd make us tunnels up there in that hay and stuff like that, and moving bales around to suit ourselves. And one time that my cousin was down there visiting, and we was up there horsing around there, and they hollered at us from the house. The supper was ready, whatever. And I was upstairs, and I got in a hurry there, and fell through a hole. And there was a trunk down on the floor there, an open trunk, and I fell right on that edge of that trunk there. Man, that hurt my back. Didn't, like I said though, we was tough and rough there, and it didn't hurt all that long. Went up and you at it again there. There's we had to, after Dad died. Well, we had to kind of take over about doing everything around. Well, we had to do everything around the farm anyway because he usually at work and mechanic. But Mom went with us one time to go down this field to mend some fences. We got down there and we realized we didn't have enough equipment with us there, and so we needed some more. I don't remember what it was. Probably some steeples and stuff that we didn't take with us the first time. So me and Ted decided we'd go back to the house and get it. We get back up the house, we decided, well, we get a jug of water. Take Mom, she'll probably be thirsty by the time we get back down there. Well, the jug of water was a glass jug. We didn't have plastic jugs back them days. And we was riding down through there, and we was riding on a horse there. I didn't say that, but it was all on horses. And but I was on with my brother, and I was on behind him, and I was holding the jug and whatever else it was there.